And hey, everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. And I'm actually, for some reason, I don't know what's going on, but I'm actually sitting at my sitting at my desk. But for some reason, my camera's just not doing it right now. So I don't know what the deal is. And you know what? This has been kind of a thing, man. I don't know, guys. But if you're here, I'm glad you're here. And we are going to kind of figure this thing out. And I'm going to try something here. 1 second if you're watching. All right, let's plug this in. See if this does the job on it. There we go. All right. Well, that's a little bit better. Let's see here. Okay. All right, guys. So I hope everyone's doing well. Man, it really got bright in here all of a sudden. So we are here to talk about, I'm going to just adjust this down a little bit. So as you may know, I am going to, let's do this a little bit. There we go. All right. Well, that's much better. So guys, we are here to talk about karate combat. Now, as you may or may not know, I was in Austin, Texas over the weekend or over last week. You know, Consensus 2024 was going on, and I was there on behalf of Brave Browser, all right, as you can see right here, covering the events and covering karate combat. So I wanted to jump on and share with you guys how that experience went. And if you have questions or if you watch this later on down the line, you know, go ahead and put your comments in. But so I got up really early Wednesday morning. As a matter of fact, I think I was up at like 3:15 a.m., something like that. And my Uber came. I didn't want my wife to have to get up and bring me 40 minutes to the airport that early in the morning. So I grabbed an Uber, had a couple cups of coffee first. Got to the airport, sat down, you know, got in, did everything, you know, you needed to do to get kind of situated. And then as I was waiting, I actually met a couple, and he was actually going to Consensus. He was you know, he was trying to get one of his projects exposed. So that was really good. And I guess his girlfriend was covering the event or whatever. So that was really cool. And I was able to meet up once we got in the plane and we landed, which was a really bumpy ride. I haven't been on an airplane that had that much turbulence in quite a while. We were bouncing around like a ping pong ball, but whatever, worked out fine. We landed about 8 o'clock, 8:15 in the morning. And so that was really cool. You know, not too bad. It was early. Got situated, and the interesting thing is I'm taking you through the journey, guys. All right, I'm taking you through the journey. So I get off the airplane trying to figure out the best way to get to downtown Austin, which I've never been before. I have never been to Austin in my life at all whatsoever. And Ubers were like $55, and I'm like, man, I really don't want to have to do that if I can afford it, if I can, you know, not do it, right? So one of the security personnel outside is like, hey, look, this bus goes downtown. It'll take you where you want to go. It's like $1.25 or $1.25 to get there. So I'm like, all right, I'm up for adventure. Why not? Grab my stuff, head over to the bus. Guy's like, yeah, get in. We can take you somewhere downtown. And then he goes, I can't take you right to it, but I can drop you off, and then you can get this number or whatever bus, and then it'll take you there. And I'm like, okay, well, just get me downtown. How much is it? He whips out a pass. Like, this is a free pass, so it will take you downtown. So instead of spending $55 on transportation, I was able to get there for free, basically. I got downtown. He's giving me the instruction, and this is a city bus, guys. All right, this isn't like a shuttle bus. It's like doing stops. And I'm like, oh, man, that's right. You know, you pull the cord down to let you out kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, man, I hope he remembers I'm back here and I'm not like in this bus for 5 years trying to figure out how to get out. But anyway, worked out, told me where to get off, and as he's telling me to get off, he's giving me all these different instructions, and I'm trying to listen to him, and I had other people telling me do this and do that. I'm like, finally, I just said, the heck with it. Checked on an Uber. It was going to cost me $7.50 to get from where I was downtown to my hotel. I don't care. I just basically saved $50 by taking the bus. $7.50, no big deal. Let's go. Got picked up, got to the hotel. You know, it took a little bit. It took me a couple hours to get situated, but once I got situated, everything was fine, worked out, and had the great fortune to meet up with a few of my Brave teammates, Brave browser ambassadors and teammates from Brave. Great people. I'm gonna give them a shout out. So I met Drew, I met Bows, Sherelle I met later on. I met Luke. Just great people, wonderful salt of the earth people. And then we just started. Then it was like figuring everything out. You know, there was different events going on all over the city. Now, Consensus is a big time crypto convention, obviously. And Karate Combat and Consensus, actually, Karate Combat was essentially sponsored, like mainly, like they brought them in from Consensus. Now, with that said, Brave Browser is also a arena sponsor. And if you were to look on my Twitter page, you would see that, right? You would see that fact, that they are an arena sponsor. As a matter of fact, while we're here, I'm going to be scrolling down to see if I can find it. And let me look. And let's see if anyone, okay. All right. So I'm just going to scroll down here, guys. Bear with me. And I will be doing a longer form content video. Oh, yeah, and I want to share some other, like, really huge, cool surprises here also. But let me see if I can find this real quick. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. And if you can see here, like, there's the Brave logo right there. And here I am wearing basically it's the same beanie that I'm wearing right now as what I had on there. So Brave is a proud sponsor of Karate Combat. See the bat token over there as well. And, you're going to be seeing a lot more stuff coming out from me because, I look at it that, Karate Combat and Brave, they're both fighting, right? So in Karate Combat, you're fighting your opponents, you're doing this, you're doing that. In real life, Brave Browser is fighting for your security, fighting to keep you protected from like unwanted ads and all that other kind of nonsense that we don't want to see. So this was really cool, and just wanted to kind of share that with you. I'm going to come back here again, and my screen again is just not happening. So what I am going to do is I'm going to forget this. I'm going to just come right here. I'm not even going to worry about my camera. Forget my camera. We don't need it. And I'm going to scroll down, and you can see like some different pictures here and some different fights. This was one of I was really close. I was able to have pretty good access to get in there and create some videos and take pictures. And again, this is on Twitter. So I was really, really close to the action. And this is champion Ross Levine. And that was a great fight. By the way, you can always go back. Normally I live stream these, but obviously me being there, I was there. So you can go on to Karate Combat on their Twitter page, or not their Twitter page, on their YouTube channel, and you can go back and you can watch the entire fights here, which I think if you're a fight fan, you definitely want to maybe check that out. And this was from a devastating this was right after a devastating knockout that Ross had on his opponent. I mean, just laid him out. He threw a high round kick, and as he was throwing his kick, his opponent turned away, presented his back, and Ross caught him right in the back of the head, and he was out. So this I thought was a really cool picture. The idea here is just to expose karate combat even more. And I've got some really exciting news, too, for you coming up. And just some other images. These are from my post, Crypto Dojo. You're more than welcome to go on there and check that out. Follow it if you like. But two things that I thought were fantastic, and one of which was, we all know Joe Rogan, right? Joe Rogan was actually there in attendance and actually walked right in front of me, as a matter of fact. So that was really cool. I know on his podcast, he said he was going to be there. He showed up, and that, to me, is the beginnings of a huge endorsement, him being there. So we'll have to see. This was a message I sent out right beforehand, and you're going to be seeing, I'm going to be, like I said, putting out, I tried doing a little live stream, but the Wi-Fi connection there was so bad, guys, that it was, I don't even know. I've got to go back and look at it, but I heard it was really sketchy, really bad, going in and out. So if you were one of the few that were on there, I apologize for that. I tried. And then let's see here. Some of my other posts. All right. So this here was me basically landing. I was trying to document as much as I could. So this was landing at about 8:10 in the morning, something along those lines. And after we got through the choppy air, it was really nice there. And, of course, my smiling face at whatever time it was. I think this was probably, I would say, about 5:30 in the morning, 4:30. It was still dark, so it was still dark out when this picture was taken. But I didn't care. I was on my way to Austin, Texas, baby, to check out Karate Combat, hang out with my brave buds, and also hang out with some other friends. And so let's see here. Is anyone here? Probably not too much, but. So I'm going to try one more time. Let's go back here and see if this is working for me. It's not working for me, so we're going to go back here. Now, a couple of things also that were really cool is that Boss Rutan, who normally is there, he normally covers these events, was not. He was actually, I guess he's making a film with The Rock. So they had a 60-second video of him and The Rock coming on, and basically saying, "Hey, Boss was like, I can't make it, but we're watching it. Got to film the next day. Good luck." All this kind of stuff. So we had two really big deals. We had Joe Rogan coming on, and we had Boss Rutan with The Rock. So now this is on The Rock's radar screen even more. And Karate Combat, who, in fairness, Joe Rogan first talked about this back in 2018. And so that was something that was really, really cool to have him there. And again, we'll see what he says when he comes back, or when he does his next podcast, how that'll all play out. So we'll just have to see. But that was an amazing thing to have. Let's see here. I'm just trying something really quick. All right. So let's go back to here and see if this fixed that issue a little bit for some strange reason. And I do not know why this is doing this, but whatever. So for Brave, I was able to connect with quite a few people and also go to some events. And if some of you are watching this, you might actually even be someone that I've actually met, which if you did, great. It was a pleasure meeting you. I hopefully will be able to do more of these because I think that, we think of Brave. And a lot of people, the majority of the people that I ran into were familiar with Brave. I mean, I had my Brave shirt on and my beanie on. A majority of people knew what Brave was and are using it and love it. So that was a good affirmation that Brave is just becoming more global, becoming more mainstream, and that they're strategically aligning themselves with karate combat. That's just even better. So through the event itself, so we go to the event, I go to the event, and I've got whatever my pass that I have or whatever it is, I'm able to get fairly up close, take some really good pictures. Pictures, like I said, sort of like this one here. Now, granted, I kind of zoomed in a little bit just to make it closer, but I was pretty damn close to the arena. I was probably maybe 10 feet away, tops, maybe less. So I was really close by. And you're having a ton of other influencers there, and just the excitement was really cool. And then when you're watching it from home, and you guys know, because I live stream these events when I'm home, I've live streamed how many, 5 or 6 of these, and it's different when you're home live streaming the events because you only see basically the ring. You may get panned out with some other shots of the crowd, but mainly you're kind of focused in on just that one area, right? So this time I was able to absorb everything and get a picture of everything. Now, this is something that maybe you guys knew it, I didn't, but when I was in the arena, when you're watching at home, you're seeing all the AI graphics and all these really cool, holograms or whatever they are. All you see when you're in the arena there are the lights. Like the light, they have it all set up, I guess, where the lights create the images that they project onto the TV or from the camera. So I was like, that was interesting because I guess I was expecting when I walk in, I'd see all these really cool like images and graphics and holograms showing up on the roof and on the walls and stuff. And there wasn't that. It was mainly for those at home. So, but the great thing about it is that you were close. Unless you were watching the jiu-jitsu matches, those were the things that I thought where I was positioned, I'd have to look up on the screen. Everyone had to look up on the screen to be able to see the grappling submission, the pit submission series, because everyone was so low and the pit walls come up high. Other than that, the stand-up fights you were seeing, obviously the higher you were, the better vantage point. I was more like this, maybe a foot or two off the ground, seeing across. So I had a pretty good view, pretty good perspective of where I was. And, if you go back and you watch, you might see me in the crowd. I didn't really engage in a whole lot of conversation with a lot of people. My focus was on the fights, but I was having conversations with people, and they were really nice. People were really, really nice there. Everyone was really cool, good attitudes. No one was, had major attitudes and stuff. So the fights went really good. The submission series, it was actually a shorter karate combat than I'm used to. Normally the karate combats go on for like 4 or 5 hours. This was, I think about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, because you had the pit submission series, then you had the main fights, you had the co-headliners, then you had the influencer fights. And I think there was like 3 or 4 of those influencer fights. And those went by really quick. Really, really quick. And that was, again, just nice being in that environment. Combination of being around the crypto blockchain folks and then being in the martial arts, even though in this case I sort of was removed from it because, not competing or not judging or not coaching or not, you're a spectator. So that was a bit strange for me, but I was there to focus on creating stuff and just being able to articulate. Hopefully I've been able to do that with you guys tonight of how it all went. And I'm cutting through a lot of stuff because you guys are probably like, whatever. But just suffice it to say that these fighters, being that I was there, boots on the ground, in person, these guys are no joke. These are top, world-class, professional fighters, guys, right? These guys are serious about what they do. They train really, really hard. And when you're watching it, you're not quite getting the impact. Like, you're not, hearing the breathe or the exhale or the heavy breathing or the punches really when they're hitting their opponents or their gloves or whatever. You're not really getting that. But when you're there live, and being that I was closer, I could feel all that. So that in itself was an amazing experience. So if you've been on the fence about, should I go to one of these things, go. You won't be disappointed. It's entertaining as well. They make it fun, and they keep it moving really well. And you never know who you're going to see in there. Like I said, there's a lot of influencers there, and I'm not going to say who they are, but there was quite a few there, which was something that was really I hit the wrong one, guys. And something that was really really fun to be a part of and witness. So, and then on Friday, just started gathering up. I went to hang out with my buds at the Shrapnel House. And thanks to Shrapnel for inviting me to that. That was a lot of fun. Met some really cool people there. And there's this saying: if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. Well, I definitely did not have that problem, because every place I went, everybody was just great people, wonderful people, and with brilliant minds too, but down to earth. So it's kind of hard to explain. So I want to thank everyone. We had quite a few people that we were talking to, and I also want to thank like Luke and Drew and Bowles for really hanging with me. And Drew actually took me to the airport. So Drew, if you're watching, man, and so a couple shout outs to the team who wasn't there. You had Jenny, who was one of the team leaders and helped get this thing off the ground. She really helped a lot. And then we had just everyone at Brave. Want to thank everybody for doing this, and wanted to just jump on, give you guys a quick summary of how it all went. Hope everyone is having a great evening, and apologize for the camera issues, but hopefully my voice is coming off good. We'll figure this out, and just want to say thank you guys, and hope you have a great evening. And remember, here at the Crypto Dojo, crypto never sleeps.